Hello, this is Bullet with yet another video few will ever see, and that's probably a good thing. In today's video, I'm going to try something different. I'm going to try to provide a commentary to this week's Nightfall. I was finally able to solo it yesterday, after hours and hours and hours over the past few days of mostly failing it. Completing it wasn't the problem. I soloed it many times. The goal was to solo it and not die, and to complete it within the required time limit. Once I start the commentary, things will probably be pretty awkward. I always write a script for my videos. Just watching the video and commenting on it, I don't know how this is going to go. There is so much I will want to say, and I'm sure while saying one thing, I will see something else on the screen that I want to talk about. But just the fact that I saw that and want to talk about it, it's going to distract me from what I'm currently saying. So I'm probably going to trip up a lot, and I may repeat things. It's going to be ugly. There are those in life that can rub their head and pat their belly at the same time. I'm not one of those people. I have to concentrate on the task at hand, or bad things happen. But before I get into the commentary, I need to rant about this week's Nightfall, and Nightfall in general. Every week I watch videos from the other guys, and they tell me how fucking easy this week's Nightfall is, as they seem to effortlessly run through it. Every week I go into Nightfall fully motivated, and every week I get my ass fully handed to me. Nightfall eventually becomes an obsession, and I will do nothing else until I complete it. As I said, I'm always motivated going into the weekly Nightfall. If I can, I watch a few videos of others soloing Nightfall first. Then I attempt it, considering all that I've learned. And then I go into Nightfall, and I fail hard. Week after week, I see these other guys run through Nightfall without a care in the world. Some even fucking live stream their soloing of Nightfall. I'm not here to shit on these other guys' videos. These guys are the best of the best. I'm just trying to express the level of frustration I feel when I've seen several people already solo Nightfall, and I'm 2 fucking days in and haven't been able to solo it without dying and within the required time limit. These guys are on another level. I get that. But it's the ease at which they do it. The way they make it seem like this is normal. Like the average Joe should just be able to solo fucking Nightfall because they watched a video. This is not the case. It takes a whole lot of talent. And if you're like me, it's a level of talent I do not possess. If you're like me, it takes a butt ton of failures, practice, and gameplay. I hope that someday I'll be that good. That I can get up early on reset day, solo Nightfall, and have a video out by the time the rest of the world is just waking up. But that ain't today. Today we're going to dive into what it took to successfully solo this week's Nightfall. Okay, we are now with the commentary. Wish me luck. Now, one of the things I want to talk about, I tried every scout rifle I have. The one for me that seemed to work the best is the Wounded. But most importantly here, I want to talk about the chest piece. I'm using a Void subclass, so you want to make sure your chest piece matches. So in this case, the one I'm using will increase armor when using a Void subclass. That makes a difference. If you're ever in a doing the strikes and you seem to be just getting melted quickly by the ads or the bad guy, the bosses, check your armor, because that chest piece it's hypercritical. That whatever chest piece you use is designed to match whatever subclass you're using. Now, before I get into the raids, one of the things I like to do is I'll start a patrol somewhere so I can load up on my heavy and my special ammo. I want to go into to Nightfall loaded out. So when I get into Nightfall, and especially in this one, you want to make sure that you see that heavy ammo box that's up in the right. If it's not there, just back out and start again. And I like to run it there like you just saw, and Galahorn, that group of ads that's hiding back there. Then I try to get these the flying toasters here. I try to get them all lined up there, so I kind of poke my head out till I see enough of them, and I can take out the shanks quickly. And these guys, these noble vandals or whatever. Oh God, I hate them with their tracking bullets. I wish my bullets tracked. Now in this particular run, the servitor is in that back room. It's a pain in the ass. He's not always there. Sometimes he's in the room to the right. I almost backed out because he was right there. In fact, I backed out a ton of times because a lot of the tutorials said, "Oh, the servitors will come to you," and well, that's just not always the case. Sometimes you have to track them down, and this is the case. I tried to snipe them from back here, but things get in the way, and you can't get a clean shot, and it just wasn't happening. So I had to go up. I had to man up and go in there. And this is another reason you want that heavy box there, because you can only load up a synth every 5 minutes, and there's going to come a time when you're going to need that heavy box. And I always try to save the heavy boxes, so so they're there when I need them. Man, I hate it when the servitor's in there. I think I'm trying to get away. Also with the snipers, I always look for snipers that have explosive rounds. They seem to be the only ones that do damage in PvE. The armor piercing, none of that seems to help. In fact, I've got some snipers and some primers, especially the Treads Upon Stars, that say they do special damage against Cabal or Minotaurs, and in fact, since Treads Upon Stars was my favorite scout rifle, this week I had 5 skeleton keys saved up. I always like to have them just so they're there if there's a treasure chest I want for whatever reason. I had 5 of them saved up. I went into one of the Mars strikes, and I did it 4 times in a row because I know that particular strike gives you Treads Upon Stars, and I wanted to find one that did damage against Vex or the Minotaurs. The 4th strike, it gave me a Treads Upon Stars that does damage against Minotaurs. I was thrilled. I went back in the strike and I said, no more of these Minotaurs chasing me down, and it didn't make a difference. If you don't use explosive rounds with your primary, you're wasting time. It ain't gonna happen. So don't bother with that. Just use explosive rounds whenever you can when you're in PvE. Also, try to learn how to jump. I can't jump worth a shit. As you saw, I just tried to jump up. I had to run and take the stairs like a moron. Here I thought the captain was going to run up, so I load my heavy, and he doesn't show up. He hangs out downstairs. Now this part, I try to run past these guys. The ones in the room up here, it just takes too long to shoot them, and it's just a waste. There's enough ads. You're going to get the gold tier if you get it in time. So I don't. If you can run past an ad run past them, get to the next place and save your time. I'm a little over 6.5 minutes in. I'm making good time, or 5.5 minutes in.
I appreciate the support, but don't take further responsibility.
Look, current situation aside, the Guardians have things handled. Doesn't leave a lot for the Hunter Vanguard to do.
Those next two areas aren't too bad.
What was that? You're breaking up.
Here, if I can, if someone's blocking the door, I shoot it, but I just run past this room. You know, unless I need to kill something or something's in the way, I leave it be. These things, don't use your primary, just snipe them. You can one-shot them if you hit them, as opposed to using up all your primary ammo to take them out. It takes dozens of shots to take out those harpies. And these guys, grenade them. Don't waste the heavy. I was wasting my heavy and a tether, and just throw a grenade, and then that'll damage them enough that you can shoot what's left fairly easily. I like to run over to this door on the right, take out these guys, and then snipe the two snipers. And if I can, pop off a couple of shots at the Minotaurs. The other one's hiding, so I'm probably going to have to get him from the other side. So then I run back over here, and I clean up whatever's left of the Vex and that Minotaur. I'm horrible. My grenade placement is... Sometimes I either overthrow it or don't throw it far enough. Now, since I didn't kill the ads in that upstairs room, I can hear them, and it always freaks me out. It always sounds like they're coming to you. There's ads in this room I've missed, but it's just them upstairs. So if you get to this point and you hear that, you know, be cautious, but you know, it's just them upstairs. And you notice no ammo. There should have been an ammo box right there, but of course, I always get dicked on ammo. Now this part is scary. I like to throw a little fire grenade first. Try to tether them. If you can get a couple heavies in there, great, and run away. Now what's scary about this part is right now there's a Minotaur, at least one Minotaur to the right, trying to sneak up and get me. I've been killed many times because I didn't hear this guy coming up the stairs. This time I threw a grenade and I was like, oh shit, it killed him. But there was another one. And then, oh, fire grenade killed him. That never happens. I never get that lucky. And here's what I'm talking about, the harpies. It just takes forever trying to shoot them with your primary. Just waste a round with your sniper and drop them. I wasted 30 seconds there, and trust me, it makes a difference. 30 seconds can make or break the game. Now you want to run around, make sure you got everything, pick up whatever ammo you can. This was difficult for me because there's all these armor material engrams sitting there, and it's an impulse. I have to pick them up, and I actually looked at them like, should I run over and get it? I was proud of myself for just leaving them there. Now here, if you do this right, when that wall comes down, if you throw a grenade far enough in, it'll take them all out. You don't have to do anything. But as usual, I didn't throw it far enough, and so it didn't really do much to them. And spent all that time killing them. Didn't drop anything I needed. Now coming up here, this part can be tricky. Remember where you're at right here. Now when you run down here, there's going to be some that spawn right in front of you. Try to take those out first, 1 or 2 heavy shots, and then just take them off with your primary. If you have to, you can run back into that room. They shouldn't follow you in there. If you're lucky, it'll drop ammo that you need. But of course it's me and it doesn't drop anything. And you can already see there's some heavy down there, so I'm feeling good. That's a good sign. Now right here, this is hypercritical. Look right down there. Usually you'll see 1 or 2 Minotaurs. Try to snipe them. You've got a few seconds before that timer starts ticking. Take out as many as you can. It's in your interest, your best interest. I'm already taking too long. As what happens is that timer starts, and if you don't jump real quick, it's gonna start to spawn you, and it's gonna spawn you in a bad place. So do what you can. Now here, try to jump up onto this. I rarely get this jump right. I died so many times missing that first ledge. Get up here, pick up some heavy, jump up, jump over to this place, and right here you're fairly safe. I mean fairly. If you don't kill the ads, they will snipe you and kill you up here. So add control. Take especially the Minotaurs. Take them out before you even work on the boss. It's a pain in the ass. Because like in this case, they're hanging out beneath me. I can't get to them. And the plan is when you're up here, you want to jump up to the ledge that's on now my right and shoot at the boss. When they're down there, you don't want to do that because as soon as you jump up there, they're going to the Minotaurs are suddenly going to be behind you and they're going to start trying to snipe you and you're going to die real quick. So yeah, you have to waste the time, but it's in your best interest to take out the ads before you jump up there. And be careful. It's not, you're not completely safe there. The splash damage will wreck you. There's times I've had to bail because the position the boss is in, I'm taking so much splash damage I'm about to die. Plus I'll have one of these Minotaurs down there. This guy's kind of zoned out, so I was lucky. But had he been shooting at me and the boss was shooting at me, it would have wiped me out. And look around, there was some heavy over on that ledge. That's the direction I'm gonna go when he calls in his next batch of minions. But you always want to try to keep an eye on where the bad guys have dropped ammo, because any ammo you can pick up that you don't have to load from a synth it's a lifesaver. But like you just saw, jump up on that ledge, try to get 3 good precision shots, and then jump back down quick. Look for ads, then jump back up, do some more shots. You're fairly safe. Just as you're shooting, when you zoom in, you can still see your health bar. You should be able to get in 3 shots at least and survive. Your 6th shot, he's going to call in more minions. And this is the part, I always fail right here, or whenever he calls him in. Here I'm going to go invisible. Now I know I didn't get all the ads. They're going to be on both sides of me. This is difficult. There's a Minotaur I didn't get, so now I'm screwed. Anytime you can vanish in smoke, don't wait, do it. I've died so many times running away thinking I could just make it around the corner without wasting my vanish in smoke thing. And here I don't have anything. I don't have time to kneel. I've got a Minotaur chasing me. There was that gold box, that exploding box I had to run past. All kinds of butt pucker. So many times, I don't know how I survived. Now, the place I feel the safest at is over here, because I can jump up on that one ledge and then jump up to my little hiding spot. I hate that phasing in and out shit they do. Since I'm so bad at jumping, there's times I will just spend the whole time in this area until the next spawn. It's a constant grind of waiting for my next vanish and smoke to appear, waiting to be able to load more heavy or more special. And that clock's always ticking away. And I'm like, should I jump up there, or should I work on the ads from here, or work on the mind from here? And I missed it. Not cool. If you're good at jumping, this portion isn't going to be a problem. But for me, just getting up there was such a pain in the ass. I've done it where I've just spent most of my time right here. But it's just because when he calls in the minions, there's one of those cleansing fire areas that happens just to my right, and so you can run through that, and it's close. But you have ads on both sides of you, and it's just, no matter where you're at, it's always gonna suck. But you can play the whole match pretty much if you just from staying here. You can go on either side, take shots at the mind. But what I like about jumping up to that spot is, like here, you have to contend with his shield and him getting out of the area, and up on that's the when you shoot from the higher ground, there's almost never a time when that shield's in the way, because you're kind of above it, and so every shot, or almost every shot, you can make a precision shot. As I watch, so much time just wasted. It's like you'll see me and it stops. It seems like I'm not doing anything, and you're like, why aren't you shooting? Do some damage. And the thing is I'm always trying to plan. I can only take so many shots at the boss before he calls in the next round of minions, and so I need to make sure that I'll have time. Like right there, I've got that special box waiting. So I'm going to try to take the shots that I can, but I want to make sure I can get that special loaded up before he calls in the minions. It's just, so I'm always thinking what, trying to plan ahead, so when a head gets here, I don't have to panic. And like he's calling them in, so load up the special. Two wasted heavy shots. Now right here, I'm starting to butt pucker. I've got no vanish and smoke. There's no safe place to kneel and go invisible with that almost no health left. I don't know how I survived. I'm thinking, I know there's more ads, so... I've got to vanish in smoke. Almost died again. Now, I didn't shoot that box right there. I probably should have, but I knew as soon as I did it would draw attention from the mind. And I was going to jump up here, and I didn't want to have to try to jump up there while the mind was shooting at me. So I just thought I'd take a chance. If I could run and have him not see me, chances are that thing's not going to explode. But I always, for the most part, if you see him and you can safely blow him up, blow him up. Because the last thing you want, I've had so many times where I didn't take him out and I'm running by it and the mine didn't hit me, but the mine hit that box and that box blew me up. Again, I hated having to waste the heavy on these ads, but I don't have time to sit there and shoot every single one. I need to work on the mind. 8 minutes seems like a lot of time, but there's a lot of work to do beforehand. A lot of work to do in that time. And this is where you get paranoid. You want to jump up there and start taking shots at the boss, but there's so many times where I think I've cleared out all the ads, I jump up there, and then there's some sniper behind me shooting, and I just get wiped out. Like that, I thought they were gone. So easily they could have killed me. Also, I know I could have done more damage by trying to tether the mind and then shooting at it. At least I think that would have increased the damage. But the thing is I wanted to save. I had my intellect really low, so it was like almost 5 minutes for it to regenerate. And I needed to save it for when those minions spawn below, so I can tether them and try to blow up as many as I can. Now, in the many times I failed this, right around this point is where I choke. The mind, and he's got about a quarter left. And I'm starting to think, oh, I can do this, I can do this. But then he calls in his minions. And I always miss one. Something bad always happens. Now, I had those gauntlets that give you 2 melee grenades or whatever you use them for. In this case, vanish and smoke. But the problem is that it wasn't always there. And what I found is if I used the gauntlets that allow me to kneel and then vanish, just having the one vanish and smoke, between the two I was covered, because that I could save the vanish and smoke for emergencies, and when I had time I could just kneel and vanish, and that made all the difference in the world. I hated giving up. I tried it a few times with using the Bones of Eo boots, because I suck at jumping, and it was nice to have that extra jump. It made a big difference, but there was just too many times I needed to vanish and smoke, and I thought the best way to do it was to have invisibility as much as possible. I probably could have spent not worried about them as much when they're obviously not hitting me and I'm not taking damage. I probably could have gone up and taken more shots at the mind. And I was starting to run low on time, so I thought I'm just going to have to start doing that. But still, I spend way too much time. Now I've got all those ads I didn't kill, plus new ads. And that right there, bad planning. I should have not taken shots at the boss. I should have checked what the heavy synth situation was at first. Another thing, don't panic when you start to get marked by the void. I mean, it takes a good 30 seconds before it kills you. So you have time to load heavy, to kneel and vanish. There's time. So don't panic. The first few times I did it, I was like, oh my god, I'm going to die, and I would jump down there before I was ready. You have a little bit of time, so don't stress over it. And look at that. Oh, failed. 3 minutes left, and I screwed up the jump again. Oh, I suck so bad at jumping. It would be nice if I had like a better directional control thing, but I had to have it on whatever the option was for the most jumps as possible. I think it was the triple jumps instead of better control, because I couldn't two jump and get up there. I needed that third jump no matter what. I tried it. It was nice with the extra height. That made a difference when I had the bones of EO. I didn't have so much of a problem. Two minutes left. The butt pucker only gets worse. And the next 2 minutes I question. I'm not sure if I should have wasted the time on the ads. I think I should have just fired a couple shots on both sides, thrown a couple grenades, and then concentrated on the boss. But what I decided here was that I need to clear out these ads. I am so close. I don't want to jump up on that ledge, shoot the boss, and then get sniped by one of these little bastards below. So I wasted so much time on these stupid things. I'm like, oh, that's a lot of life left for a minute. And here I'm still dicking around with ads. I probably should have jumped up on that ledge and just tried to work on the boss. There's no more time. I gotta jump up there and do what I can. Another thing I was concerned about is, with the amount of time left, I destroyed him 12 seconds left. I've destroyed the boss before in other strikes with 12 seconds left, and it didn't give me the bounty.
Some of them just don't like you.
But thankfully, it gave it to me.
You've done well, Guardian. For the time being, Venus continues to
I was so surprised I actually got it in time. Almost forgot to go pick up the engrams. Had to use my last skeleton key. Alright, now after we look at my rewards here and my time limit, I've got a little extra video of taking a look at the chest piece and what I was talking about earlier on how your chest piece should match the class that you're using. Okay, let's look at this chest piece that I'm using. Discipline strength. Here's the issue. Let's look at the details. Hand cannon, almost never use hand cannon. You want to find one of these chest pieces that are going to give you some ammo for guns that you use. For me, it's snipers, usually not auto rifle, scout rifles, sniper, and rocket launcher. But whatever you use the most, you want to look for there. I needed void burn because I'm using a void subclass, and the options to the right are going to be some sort of splash damage, defense, and increased armor. You can pick one of the two. Since I am using void subclass, I want my armor to protect me while using void, my void armor. Now here's the thing, you may have noticed sometimes you go into games and you're just getting wiped out. Whoever shoots you is just melting you. Probably because the chest piece you're using isn't protecting you like it should be. So always make sure that whatever subclass you're using, your armor is going to protect you from that damage. If we look at the details again, now I don't understand exactly the percentages, but someone told me that you always want to go with the void based, or the increases your armor option over the protecting you from splash damage. I don't understand, or I don't remember what the stats were, but this is a well-respected gamer with hundreds of thousands of followers. He probably knows what he talks about. Since I started matching my chest pieces to the elemental super I'm using, it has made an incredible difference. I can run through, like, I usually do the 350 heroic strikes. There were times I would just get wiped out. Since I started matching my chest pieces to my super, I run through them usually without too much of a problem because I'm not getting melted the first time a major shoots at me. So this is hypercritical that you match your chest piece, the element of your chest piece, to whatever super you're using. You'll see that every chest piece protects you from a various element. So there was solar, this is arc, another arc, what a fucking surprise, and solar. Anyways, hypercritical, always match the chest piece to your element. Thanks for watching, and if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, even follow me on Twitter, the link's below. Thanks a lot, have a great day.